Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Cape Town Sevens. This one, a quarter-final fixture between Ireland and New Zealand. Now, New Zealand didn't quite get off to the start in their group stage that they would have liked. They lost to Canada, they lost to Samoa, but they were able to go through as one of the best-ranked third place teams for Ireland. They had a brilliant first day in the Cape Town Sevens, winning all three of their games, including, at the time, the undefeated Blitzboks, who now have ended that 8-match winning streak. In this matchup, though, Comerford, Zach Ward, Mark Roach, Terry Kennedy, Sean Cribben, Harry McNulty, and Jordan Conroy, all in the starting side. Now, that is a completely different lineup to what we saw in the game up against South Africa, who I feel in that game they did very well to close out the game, Ireland. So it's interesting that they've thrown everyone in that starting lineup, and hopefully it doesn't cost them later on in the contest. For the Kiwis, it is going to be Whitney Nofo, Leroy Carter, McGarvey Black, Moses Leo, Shay Clark, Brady Rush, and Scott Curry to the box win. They have not played yet. Their next game is going to be just around the corner in about 20 minutes' time, and they are going head-to-head with the Australians. The winner of that game will go head-to-head with the winner of Fiji versus France. Green Do has said, "What's up, Hamish? Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing extremely well. Let's go Ireland," says Pawan. And I Hamish once more, and All Blacks for life, says Green Do there. But speaking of green, it will be the Irish who are kicking off this one from right to left. Mark Roach to get us underway for the second quarter final fixture. Nicely taken by Rohi McGarvey Black. Now, I need to mention it again. Ireland have never beaten the New Zealand Sevens side, but they've been very close so many times. Can this one be the time that they cause the upset? Beautiful offload there. New Zealand not able to get that next one away from Shay Clark, and that will be the turnover for the Irish. Terry Kennedy on the short side. He's got plenty of pace. He's explosive with it, and he has been able to score the first try for Ireland within 30 seconds. Terry Kennedy gets his third in Cape Town. Good day, Aaron. Thank you for the good commentary. Says Desmond, thank you very much, mate. And we had New Zealand end up in the group last night, so they finished third. But because there are only 12 teams, it means that the two best third-place teams do go through to the next round. In this case, it was New Zealand, and it was also France who made their way through. But Terry Kennedy for the corner. New Zealand making the mistake of getting a bit isolated. Now, Shay Clark, he wasn't sure whether he wanted to offload that ball or whether he wanted to hang on to it. He held it for a bit too long. Ireland saw that opportunity to steal it, and they managed to get themselves that early try. And thank you, Uso. I was always love and support your work. I hope you went to church today, brother, because I didn't, says Angelo. So I actually had a family lunch today. I'm running off about 2 or 3 hours of sleep for the last 48 hours, somewhere around there maybe. So not ideal. Oh, a little bit less than that. About 40 hours, I'd say. It's not quite as bad as 48. And Rohi McGarvey Black retains the ball again for New Zealand off the kickoff. Going away to this near side of the field. Chance for Moses Leo. Tackled by Terry Kennedy and Harry McNulty. Two men have got plenty of tries throughout the 7 circuit so far. Drop ball from Shay Clark. That is his second mistake of the day. Early on, 2 minutes in, he is not happy about it either, Shay Clark. And Hamish, who won the game between the Blitzboks and Australia, they have not played yet. It is the next contest that is going to be happening. So, yeah, just around the corner from that one. New Zealand coming as favourite. New Zealand, what are you doing? Come on, says Novmum. Yeah, they've got to try and work out how. It sounds bad, but they kind of need to work out how to keep Shay Clark out of it just for now until he finds his feet in the contest. But Ireland missing that conversion could be a massive difference coming in the final moments. New Zealand need to wake up and come on, boys, defend 5 points. It should be the only points we concede. Tears Green Do there. So 10 games in a row, New Zealand have been victorious over the Irish. That kick in behind could be successful. A little bit of a foot race here, and it sits up for Terry Kennedy. He gets the try, and it's a second one for the Irish. Terry Kennedy running rampage through the Kiwis here, 2 in a row for him. And that is his 10th try of his 2023 campaign. Kicking it in behind was pretty much picture perfect in terms of being just onside. And then Terry Kennedy cleans it up. Terrible start for New Zealand. Says Manus there, but the ball was loose. Leroy Carter not able to clean it up. And will we have another upset? It does kind of look that way at the moment. Ireland coming into this game with a huge amount of momentum. And that kick has gone over from Mark Roach to make the score 12 points to 0. New Zealand have not been able to get out of their own half. 2 crucial errors from Shay Clark has meant that New Zealand are on the well and truly back foot in this quarterfinal. Yes, Ireland, 2 lovely true tries, says Steve. And I come on to New Zealand, bring it back, says Simran there. But another mistake from New Zealand. Ireland end up with that ball, although counter-ruck there from New Zealand's looking strong. Terry Kennedy, though, keeps that ball in his hands. Now looking to use this one. Niall Comerford taken down low by Frianofo. Mark Roach goes across to Terry Kennedy. McNulty. Drop ball from the Irish. It goes backwards, though, says the referee, so it is going to be play on. And it's still there. Terry Kennedy back across to Mark Roach. New Zealand having limited possession throughout the first half. Jordan Conroy trying to back himself on the outside, but Scott Curry has been able to cut down the angle. Now Conroy almost goes straight through, but he is taken down in the last moment. New Zealand having to scramble here. The Irish are looking clinical. That's going to be an advantage for not releasing the player. Ireland take the quick tap of Terry Kennedy. Ferdinand Orfo not back 10, and the referee gives another penalty advantage. And that will go back for the penalty once more. That was for offside. Taking the quick tap, Brian Orfo. He has turned his back. That is one thing you're told never to do in a game of sevens. The ball is offloaded back to Conroy. 5 metres out from the line now for the Irish. Curry trying his absolute best to get that counter ruck going. New Zealand do not quite have that ball, and Clark needs to be taken off. Says Daniel Watson to the short side. Terry Kennedy 1-on-1. Tried to get back up to his feet. He's taken down by Moses Leo. 2 minutes remaining in the half now. Big run 4 from Zach Ward. He's in for the third of the Irish match. And 33-24 to the All Blacks. New Zealand is done. And also, where's the paper in New Zealand? Come on, guys. Believe the Irish are the only lucky. Never made a semi, says Elon. They haven't sevens though, haven't they? They made a semi-final before. They might even just make another one here. Ireland, says Emerald there. And also Argentina versus Ireland and semis would be huge, says Pawan. Well, it's actually a prediction that I made early on, although I said that they would meet in the quarters rather than the semi. And that has gone over for Ireland. 19 points to 0. New Zealand have not looked great. And Ireland flexing their muscles now against New Zealand. And I don't think we can just blame how bad New Zealand look out there on the field. The reason they look bad is because of this Irish pressure and the intensity that they are bringing. That does not look good for Jordan Conroy. Hopefully nothing too serious for him there. That is the last injury that they want to see in their starting lineup. And let's go Ireland on your afternoon, Kiwi lads. Says Blues Nate, welcome in, mate. Eddie Jones said it best. Says Elon. Okay, is Conroy going to be all right to continue? The whole All Blacks team needs to be taken off, says Johannes. It looks like the left shoulder is the part of him that does not look too flash. We're just going to see it here. It's when he went for the fend. He got ankle tapped and then it just kind of buckled under him. And this actually looks like it's going to be the end of his quarterfinal. Highlanders can even play better than this, says Greendu. Currently Jordan Conroy all-time tries for Ireland. He's sitting on 109. The more time he's off the field, the more time Terry Kennedy has a chance of being able to catch him. But 1 minute remaining in this half of this sevens. Again, New Zealand bounce back in this match. Says Desmond, if they are going to, they have to start that comeback soon. Now, if New Zealand can score before the end of this first half, they will still be well and truly in this game. But if Ireland score one more, you'd almost say it's too much of a mountain to climb for the New Zealanders. But the brilliant defence of Ireland is what has been helping them. That is another penalty to the Irish, and it's going to be a yellow card against Rohi McCarvey-Black. They've said that he was holding the ball in. Oh no, sorry, it was actually a neck roll that did end up giving away the penalty. So the pressure on New Zealand just became even more. Ireland are good readers of the game. That, in my opinion, is why they are successful. You too, my bro, let's go, says Blues Nate. And also, it is now Ireland's going to lose, exactly right. And now Roy McGarvey-Black has made it even harder for New Zealand with the fact that they will be playing with 6 men on the field for the next 2 minutes. Ireland in an extremely dangerous position. If I'm Ireland, yeah, I take the scrum, and that is exactly what they are going to do. Terry Kennedy, he could be on for his hat-trick here with how quickly Ireland have been able to attack. And with the positioning of him, I think he'll be the player to watch out for in this play. Now 15 seconds past the halftime siren. Mark Roach feeds the ball in. They are going to be passing off to Terry Kennedy. Here he goes. He's passed. No, he's not going to pass. He's going to go himself. And he gets the hat-trick. Terry Kennedy Ireland with the dream start to this contest. 24 unanswered points on the board up against New Zealand. And New Zealand's playing really badly. I think our girls are doing so much better, says Novmum. A great bit of work here. Brilliant run from Terry Kennedy to be able to score that try, his third of the contest. He is on fire, and that actually gives him the lead in terms of the overall series scorers. Just taking the lead off Marcos Mineta. Mark Roach nails another kick, and that'll make the score 26 points to 0 in favour of the Ireland. Like I said, a dream start. Looking like they're well and truly going to book themselves that spot up against up against the Argentines in the semi-final. Boom, Ireland, says Steve. And then New Zealand will lose this one at this rate. And also what the F name is New Zealand doing. And steaming, absolutely fuming. The drinking speed is accelerating, says Elon. And also New Zealand will have to go to plan B, says Langford. Well, their plan just needs to be to stop making mistakes. It sounds simple, but the first 2 tries came because Shea Clark either got greedy when he was running the ball, so Ireland got the turnover, and then the second one was off his knock-on, which then, round the side, the Irish are able to score themselves that next try. And as soon as you're down by 2 tries in a game of sevens, it makes it extremely hard to fight back, as you guys know. As soon as you have those first few tries, definitely when you give the momentum to a side like Ireland, they are not going to give it back. They will keep on going. What is the time for the Fiji game? So their game is going to be kicking off at 10:40 p.m. So actually only another 32 minutes time. The next game kicking off, though, it is Australia versus South Africa. We will be covering that one on the channel as well. They need to go to plan Miracle. How does this happen to Ireland? And when is New Zealand doing, or what is New Zealand doing? Too many mistakes and giving the game away, says Desmond. And also, do you think New Zealand can bounce back in this game in the second half? They need to play with their hearts in the second half to get a chance. And they just need to score tries, says Marnus. I'll be honest, there is always that rule of thumb in sevens, which is if the opposition score a certain amount of tries in one half, you can score the same amount in the second, if not maybe one more. Now, up against a side that are playing as well as Ireland are, I think New Zealand will struggle to score 2 tries in this game, and I think that Ireland won't stop scoring for the next maybe 7 minutes or so. I think we're going to see maybe 1 or 2 more from the Irish as well. Now, it looks like New Zealand have made a few changes. Shea Clark's still on the field, which is an interesting choice for them in this one. Now passing out wide, Terry Kennedy. No, it's not Terry Kennedy. His hair would have changed colour if it was. Now Terry Kennedy has that ball in hand, and Ireland, they won't mind just passing this one through their backs. Waiting for that eventual chance to open up. Mark Roach is out wide, tackled on the halfway line by Cody Vi. Trying to get in that breakdown with Shea Clark, trying to slap it out of the hand of the Irish halfback. You need to be careful doing that because that is normally a yellow card if you get it wrong with your timing. Terry Kennedy now trying to carve his way through this New Zealand defence again. Brilliant run from Zach Ward. Didn't get it on the outside to Kennedy because he was still going all by himself. Ireland still in possession. Now Kennedy going across to the right. Harry McNulty. One more on the outside. This is brilliant work from the Irish here again. Over the ball, though, Scott Curry not able to get that turnover. Great step from Noel Comerford. I think Mark Roach, if he had yelled just that little bit louder, he could have been receiving a try-scoring pass there. But now in the midfield, another chance for the Irish to strike. They've gone out wide, and it's another try here. That's the 5th of this quarterfinal now. New Zealand get rid of some of the old players, bring on younger blood, says Daniel Watson, although they've done that with Shea Clark, and look how that turned out. And we have got the I agree, never give Ireland a gap. Kennedy is one heck of a sprinter, exactly right. And Amish, I think I might be onto something. The big teams are building towards the Olympics, and the Irish are stealing their thunder currently, says Elon, and beautifully done from the Irish. I'll be honest, I'm quite happy in some regards because one of my predictions will be right if Ireland manage to win this game, which at this stage, it's pretty much a certainty, I would say, that they will be able to, because I did predict them to finish in the top 4, and they've been able to do so. Although I did predict them to go through ahead of Argentina. Those 2 sides now playing in the next contest. What is the most significant comeback in terms of chasing a large score margin in sevens history? I know a side has been able to chase down 26 before. I think that was actually only a couple of years ago that it ended 28-26 or something along those lines. New Zealand changed couch. Says to Satendra, and Ireland is looking great. Yesterday was pretty good too. Yeah, they're undefeated at the moment in Cape Town, winning 4 games from 4, including winning the game up against the host. That is going to be a knock-on from Scott Curry. Every time New Zealand touch the ball at the moment, they are making that little mistake, which then allows the Irish to be able to continue that momentum. At the moment, it's looking like an Ireland 50-point victory here. I'll be honest, New Zealand just look like they're out on their feet, and they just haven't been able to work out how to stop Ireland from creating attacking chances. We need a World 7 Series in Super Fiji. I agree. The fact that they haven't gone to Fiji yet with the amount of success that Fiji have had in sevens is a huge surprise for myself. I think the only reason they decided that they weren't going was because of the lack of infrastructure to be able to host a sevens competition, but I'm sure that that can change. Definitely if they give the opportunity, because you know there's going to be packed out crowds, and score too high to catch up, passed out wide, into touch. The Irish aren't anywhere near as good as the score, but they do deserve to win 100%. Maybe this will be the first ever semi for them, says Elon. Although they have made a semi-final before in the sevens. We've got to remember this is different to their union side, but they have never beaten New Zealand in a game of sevens, and to be able to do it in such emphatic fashion is a huge testament to the amount of progress that they have made over the last about 24 months. This Irish side have gone from strength to strength. They've been very unlucky in a lot of those big opportunity games. I mean, the amount of times that they've been within a couple points and New Zealand managed to win it in the final moments has been very impressive. But the Irish, they look like they're about to concede here. This shouldn't be the start of the comeback, though. But if it was, they're going to need a lot more tries. Needing another 4 in the next 3.5 minutes. The kick is good from New Zealand, from Tupaia Cook-Savage, who was also the man who was able to score that try. We've seen so far 2 tries from Zach Ward. We've seen 3 tries from Terry Kennedy. Cody Vi breaking through that Terry Kennedy attempted tackle, and the Union team should coach their 15 sides on how to win quarters, says Elon. I assume you're saying their 7 sides should. Now going off to the left-hand side. Running backwards at the moment for the Irish. They are inside of their 22. The only problem that they've got here is if they go too far back, then if New Zealand get the ball, they've got less ground that they have to make before being able to get themselves. Oh, the ball's popped out the side. It's available for Tim Mickelson. Rockily so, and now on the field, New Zealand looking to counter once more. Hanging onto that ball a little bit long with no Roy McGarvey Black. But the wider that New Zealand are forced here, the easier it becomes for Ireland. Cody Vi gets the ball down. Another try for New Zealand. That one, it was scored quickly, but wasn't scored quick enough for them to be able to create this comeback. And sorry, New Zealand, not your time, says Viliami. Grew up watching Sarivi, one of my idols in the sevens. Fiji has a lot of history in sevens, says Mikhail. Exactly right. There's so many great players who have come out of this Fiji and sevens side. And there's some young players at the moment who are trying to write their legacy in terms of what they can do from here. 2 minutes, a long time in sevens, of course. That ball claimed by Harry McNulty. Now, Tim Mickelson looking for the counter ruck. Doesn't manage to do so. One more try here for Ireland would really secure the deal. It feels weird to say that when they're already ahead by 3 tries, but they do need another one. McNulty passes it back across. This is all using up time as well here. Just jogging towards the New Zealand defence. Tackle made on the halfway line by New Zealand. Now back across to the left-hand side. 90 seconds remaining. New Zealand still need 3 tries. It's not impossible. It's just very improbable at the moment for the Kiwis. Argies versus Ireland in the semis. And Terry has one hell of a Geronimo too quick, says Langford there. Now Terry Kennedy holding on to this ball to Tupaia Cook-Savage. Ireland looking to attack one last time to really put the nail in the coffin of the Kiwis. Kennedy going back across to the left-hand side. Attack and run out wide for McNulty. Back to Dardis. Just keeping the ball in hand. Trying to use up as much time as physically possible. Go Fiji, go. And Viliama thought we were friends. He thought you were a good guy. We're not sure. I want to still respect you for being bold, you Fijian beauty. And now nice pass out wide. It will be another try here for the Irish. Finishing on a high. Hugo Lennox scores it. He's already been through quite a battle today. Or through yesterday, I should say, with all the strapping. Oh, yeah, well done, Ireland, says Sean there. And also go Fiji go, says Pameshwar. And go Ireland, says Green Zone boys. So the next game will be up against the Argentines. That is going to be taking place at 1:56 a.m. New Zealand time, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And for first time Ireland, Exactly right. Their first time ever beating New Zealand, and it is going to be by a comfortable margin. I've just realised I got it correct. I said that I felt New Zealand would score 2 tries in the second half, but I also thought Ireland would be able to score 2 more, and that is exactly what they have done in the second half. The siren is just now sounding. It's hit Ireland. They have realised that they are going to be going through to the semi-finals. It was Ireland's day at the office. Says Langford there. And now Dardis to kick this one off for Ireland. All they need to do is get this ball into touch. I believe New Zealand will still want to put one last try on the board. That's kicked off way in front of the halfway line, so it is going to be a scrum for New Zealand. That's actually the first time that's been policed throughout the Sevens. Probably about the 50th time that it's happened. But Billy Dardis, he took an extra maybe 2 or so metres to try and kick it deep. And now it is a scrum for New Zealand on the halfway line. New Zealand have won 20 of the 24 or 22 Cup quarterfinals in South Africa. Their last loss in a quarterfinal was up against Argentina in 2015. So the first time in 8 years that they have been defeated in Cape Town in a quarterfinal. And it is by a side that up till this point had never beaten them before, but now there's the chance that it's the first of many. Hamish, I like your t-shirt, says Michelle. Thank you very much, mate. And no one's paying attention to what's happening. New Zealand's for Fiji. They're playing for the gold medals at the Olympics. Says Blues Nate. Now nice sell, a dummy from Roy McGarvey Blackie goes straight through this Irish defence. So it will be a last-minute try for New Zealand. Anyone from Fiji we to watch live? Says Sahil. I know that they had some of the games on Rugby Pass TV for the second field. Unfortunately, the main field, though, the only real options are through subscription services. Great run from the Roy McGarvey Black to go straight through this Irish defence. The damage has already been done, though. And Ireland walk away with their first ever victory over New Zealand on their 11th meeting. They have been able to get the job done and advance through to face Argentina in the next contest. But nonetheless, we are jumping over to the next live stream now, ladies and gentlemen. South Africa versus Australia. So we will see you all in a very short moment. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all for the next